Welcome to our weekly podcast, You Just Got Schooled, where we talk about all things related to education and students. This is your host, Grace Fleetwood, and today our esteemed guest is a well-renowned author read by almost every high school student in the United States, contributing author of the PSAT and College Board employee, Dr. Ig Norrance.
Well, I know how high demand my presence is, but it's not a problem to be here.
Great. Well, let's just get right into this. As you may know, there have been many outbursts and Twitter rampages in both the past and present day from students critiquing the PSAT.
Yes, I'm up to date with all of this Twitter madness and the memes that have been based on the PSAT. I am here to show students that this isn't a joke.
Can you explain how the PSAT is relevant to a student's future?
It focuses on the skills and knowledge at the heart of education. It measures what you learn and retain in high school and what you'll need to succeed in college.
But what is the real purpose behind it? College preparation?
The tests are designed to measure essential ingredients for college and career readiness and success, as shown by research. The tests also allow for a stronger connection to a classroom learning, and they inspire productive practice.
I see. Well, many are saying that the test has no purpose in furthering education, according to the developmental needs of students. Can you explain to me how the PSAT is, for example, vital in meeting a student's required physical activity?
Interesting question. I'm sure you didn't know this, but writing an essay burns approximately 46 calories per hour. I mean, what more does a student need? It's a test calorie burner all in one.
Moving back to the original idea of what this test does for students, can you explain how the test benefits students?
The test is so useful in preparing students for what is to come in their lives. It helps students to build skills over time, regardless of what their profession will be.
Intriguing response to the question. Moving on to something else that is highly debated about the PSAT. How do you feel the PSAT furthers a positive sense of communication with adults?
I mean, there's plenty of opportunity for healthy interaction between the student and the teacher who is proctoring the exam. Students get to hear the teacher list off a series of riveting instructions, which are repetitive to ensure the student has a good grasp of the task at hand. Not only that, but there's opportunities for the student to ask questions about the instructions of the exam.
As you mentioned, the teacher is giving the alumni all of this information, which leaves some to wonder if there is any room for independent learning. What about this process promotes independence? In the eyes of many, the test leaves no room for creative thought or independent thinking due to the fact that the answers are purely multiple choice or right in the numbers. There is no independent learning, which has been shown in recent studies to be extremely significant to the success of a student later on in life.
I take great offense at that accusation. I'm appalled that people think this way in regard to the exam. The test has a strict no cheating, collaboration, or teamwork policy. As an immediate effect due to this policy, it forces a sense of independence on the student who is taking the test, due to the fact that there's absolutely no assistance from anyone else.
Well, okay. Do you think that success in taking the PSAT is linked?
Yes, because students will encounter questions and tasks that closely resemble what is already happening in the classrooms in the United States and around the world.
Now I'm going to read an emailed question from one of our listeners. We thought that a student's point of view would be very helpful in shedding some light on this argument. Doglover4567@gmail.com sent us this. How does the PSAT help students define themselves? I mean, our minds are constantly changing at different paces. Some people think faster than others. Some people just have a different thought process. That doesn't necessarily mean that a person with a higher score is smarter. Maybe they just perform better on a test than a different student. Well, back to the question at hand. How does the PSAT help students define themselves?
The PSAT allows students to define themselves by showing how much they have learned throughout their high school career thus far.
Well, time is running low, so, Dr. Ignorance, do you have any final words you would like to add?
Yes, and actually it's Dr. Ig Norrance. And as I've mentioned, the fact that students complain about the PSAT makes no sense. Obviously, they will learn discipline, control, and patience from a 4-hour testing period with little to no bathroom breaks. The test will strain their minds and push them past their limits, regardless of whether they're ready for it or not. Not only that, but the tests are all the same and aren't crafted for individuals' education. It's all part of the learning process.
But what about those who aren't good at taking tests? Won't this test just lower their self-esteem?
No, it only shows them what they need to improve on dramatically. The test isn't made with individuals in mind. Students aren't that special. The PSAT is crafted with the student body as a whole in mind and doesn't focus on the abilities of individuals.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and providing the viewers with useful information about the PSAT and what makes it so valuable. Tune in next week for our segment on homework loads.